Hey guys, welcome to my workshop. So in today's video I'm going to work on the doors, get them framed up, and try to make this thing look really cool. But I already did start with one of the doors, so let me go show you what I did. So as you can see, the one door is already up and it's very functional. Works pretty good, but I'm going to take you in just a little closer to show you what's going on. This is getting quite difficult to actually try to put the tripod up because I've got so much junk on the floor now. And now it's starting to get darker. I've got a light here. I might need to relocate it just so you can start seeing me because it's looking very dark back here. But it opens up pretty good. And the only thing that I really found out I didn't really like was that this is as far as it opens. It really doesn't swing back any further because the OSB is hitting the 2x4s. So I could cut it shorter. It would actually work a whole lot better. But then I measured my distance just to make sure that I can get the water heater in there. It still works, so I'm fine with that. I'm never going to be opening this door, so it's really not a big deal. It's actually a little bit oversized, and I'll show you why that is. So the door swings, and it just goes underneath this board about 1/8 of an inch, and I did that with a little shim at the bottom when I put it on. But I made this go up higher so that it actually rests against that and closes off real well, because eventually I'm going to come up with something to make this strong against the wall, even if it means just putting a screw in there. Because like I said, these are doors that aren't going to be used a lot. So I'm going to work on the other door and show you how I did that. Get cracking. Hopefully when I get that done, I might throw some paint on this thing because I'm kind of getting tired of it looking this way. Plus I want to get my shop back to its functionality and try to put some of these tools back to where they belong. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is put a little board on top of this 2x4. It's actually a 1/8 inch piece of Luan, just to give me something to rest the 2x4 on top of so that I can get a really good measurement of where these hinges need to be. So I'm doing all these like one at a time because, like I maybe mentioned before, this house isn't very square, so there is a chance that some of these things aren't going to be the same as the other side. So doing this one side at a time, and in fact right now I'm seeing it that one of these boards are actually warped. I'm going to turn it around, see if I can fix that real quick. I'm going to tell you a little secret, a little tip on getting these hinges on this board, but I need to get my clamp real quick. I'm going all Wrangler Star on you. Okay, if you don't know what I meant by that, there is another YouTuber that I follow named Wrangler Star. He likes to use Loctite on a lot of different things, but this is actually something I did on this door as an experiment to see if it would work, and I was very, very surprised that it worked. But what I'm going to do is actually apply some super glue to the hinge, both on the top and the bottom, and then quickly put this board on there and clamp it, and I'm going to just leave it for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then take the clamps off. I can then move this like it's a hinge and then put the screws in, because right now obviously it's hard to put a screw in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Well, I just had a little technical difficulty, and it's not with this, it's actually with the camera. I thought I hit record, turns out I didn't, and when I went to hit the stop recording, it actually started recording, and so you missed the whole process. But basically what I did is I put glue on that joint, both of them, both hinges, and then real quickly put the board back on, clamped it up, and I've left it for about 15 seconds. It's actually been about a minute now because I had a little camera delay. But that's actually a really good time to maybe mention something. I'm not sure if you noticed right now and in the previous episode that the audio looks or sounds different and the video sounds a little different. That is because I am not recording on this iPhone anymore. I'm actually recording with a Canon Rebel T6i. I'm super excited. And then I've got the Rode mic on the top, so I don't have to wear this lav mic in this shop. I'm actually standing about 3 feet from a camera, and you're catching up everything. So that is a huge thing, because the iPhone, I can't get that wide of a view. I'm not even using the wide angle lens. I do have a wide angle lens, but truthfully I'm not sure if I'm going to need it. So I hope you like it. If you are liking this new view, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments below. But it's been about 15 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and I will say prepare to be amazed. Yep, look at that. Stinking crazy. Never ever would have thought super glue would do that. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot screws into these holes, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so I went ahead and cut the other board, and this board is a little bit struggling. I think it's got a little bit of a warp to it. It's also got this corner that's cut out, or I think it's from the bark, but honestly it's going to help me in this situation, because when you go to close these doors, and if you're doing them together, they're going to kind of bind on each other. So along with that note, I have taken my 1/8 inch Luan, I broke it in half. I'm going to actually stick it in between these before I make measurements. And what I'm going to do, clamp them together, try to do this so that I can get a measurement on what the stud needs to be to go between this and the hinged board. That way there's a little bit of breathing space in there, and I'm not fighting anything in the future. I've got this board. It's basically about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to put underneath it to just elevate it up off the floor, and hopefully this works out. Might have to do some trimming around the hinges, but hopefully it works. Well, amazingly, they actually work. They don't really clash too much. They hit a little bit, but if I pull that out, it just kind of sits in. It's a little warpy. This doesn't want to get pulled in, but I think that'll probably work better once I get the locking mechanism figured out. Okay guys, so that's actually going to be a wrap for this video, and realistically this is kind of a wrap for the project that you're going to see, because all I'm going to do now is fill up the spaces that don't have any OSB. I'm going to paint it white, paint the whole thing white, and then I'm going to start putting my shop back together. So I might do a little follow-up video that would just be maybe episode 5, just to show what I ended up doing, showing you the layout of what happened, because I will be doing this water heater at a later time. I won't document that because it's all plumbing. I don't want to really document plumbing on this channel because it's a woodworking channel. So this water heater will eventually move, and some stuff will change again. So I think once I do that, I'll probably do a shop tour. It's been a long time since I've done a shop tour, but that's something that's kind of long overdue. But for this series, that's going to be about it. So I really hope you maybe enjoyed this series, and if you did, please leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. And realistically, I really hope that you learned something from this. You know, everything I did here, I tried to keep it on a tight budget. I reused a bunch of screws. I reused a bunch of 2x4s I pulled out of my home. The only thing I really did was spend some money for some OSB. And if you want to say the paint I'm going to use cost some money, it did, but I bought it a while ago. So really, I think I spent about 50 bucks the whole thing, because the OSB is about 12 bucks a sheet. So there was 2 sheets involved. It's actually less than 50. And that's really all I ended up buying. So, you know, it's just wanted to show you that you can do a lot of stuff with just stuff maybe you saved. Sometimes we as woodworkers like to save a lot of stuff and we don't end up using it. But in this case, a lot of this stuff I had saved from other projects or other things we did in our house. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this series. And if you're just watching this for the first time, go back and watch all the other episodes. You'll see what this area looked like before it looked like what it is now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here in the workshop.